I just can't say no to free furniture. And if it's free, well, that usually means it's a lot more work. And many times, those are the best makeovers. This piece is dirty. I've had it for a while and it's been in storage, but it needs some help. It has some great storage, great bones, beautiful drawers. They're solid dovetail drawers. So I knew that it had some potential, but it is worn. The millions of scratches on the top that you'll see later really get revealed when I start sanding. So let's see if I can do something with it. Want to learn furniture refinishing? I have step-by-step guides for every stage of the process, and Refinish and Profit covers the business side. They're available on my website. All right, I need to start by removing the hardware. These are just simple knobs, so easy enough. I did have a few of them though that the screws were completely embedded in the drawer face. So as I get moving through them here, you'll see that I pull out a hammer because I ended up having to pound those out of the wood. It's a little crazy. It was weird that it happened on some and not on others. I'm just going to get these all off of here because it's much easier to start cleaning these pieces with the hardware off. And you'll see I'm struggling with those. So a little hammering and I was all good. But time to get a good clean surface to start with. And I like to use a degreaser for this. Just spray it on and wipe it off. Again, it's got years of grease and grime and all of this dirt. It was so dirty. I just can't even explain how it was. But it's going to be all nice and clean, but that doesn't mean that it's ready to go because it has lots of wear and tear on it. So get it all cleaned up because I don't want any of this gunk that's coming off of my rag to interfere with adhesion of the new finish that's going to be on here. And look at that dirt. It's really dirty. It's like soupy water. So I'm glad that's all cleaned up and off of there. And now I feel like I really can get going. So I want to take the door off because I'm going to go ahead and clean up the inside of that storage area. And sometimes I leave that wood, but this time I've decided I'm going to go ahead and just refinish that as well. But when I take my hinges off, I always label them. So this one is the top hinge, and then I label which direction it's going, because it does make a difference. Now, this isn't necessarily a vintage or antique piece, but it still makes a difference. The older they get, it seems like they're even more finicky. But I have to get all of these pieces off here. There was magnets and all the things needed to come off because I want to start with a good, clean, simple surface. So I've got my sander out now and I'm just scuff sanding the entire thing as well as the door, because this piece has got lots of surface scratches, and sometimes the scuff sanding can help take care of a lot of those surface scratches, but it's also going to be kind of scuffing the surface and making it a little rough so that the new finish will adhere better. And once I get this sanded a little bit, it starts becoming clear that there are thousands of little dents and dings. They're everywhere. Every piece of the top of this. So I don't know what was going on with it, but it has tons of scratches and dents. So I'll address that in a minute, but now I'm just going to keep scuff sanding everything. And then the surf prep is perfect for doing these edges and things like these curved areas. So if you ever want a surf prep, it's an amazing sander. Use my code for a discount and you'll see how it just molds to these areas. Otherwise, I end up doing a lot of that by hand because you can damage it. Okay, let's get everything cleaned up because I want to get a lot of that dust off of there and address some of these issues. One, I've got some places in the back that are broken. You'll see that's MDF covered by veneer. And when that happens, there's really no other way to get around it other than filling that in. And I feel like the best way to do that is with some Bondo. So I have some Bondo. I added the little accelerator in there, which is the hardener. And it's going to allow me to put this in here, wait a few minutes, and it'll get hard. And then I can get that MDF covered up. MDF is medium density fiberboard. What does that mean? It's like pressed cardboard. So you can imagine if my water-based products get on there, they just swell and it would just be worse than it was to start. Now my Bondo's starting to harden. You can see it's setting up already. I only had a few minutes, but I was able to get that corner still. But I was still able to just barely get enough on that corner to make it all work. Now, this next product is the glazing and spot putty because I have to fill all of these dents and dings. They don't get any better with paint. So I'm just going to essentially float the top of this with this product. And I wanted to clean all that dust off of there so that this had a better chance of adhering to everything. But what an amazing product this is. And yeah, I probably could have just done every inch of it, but I was starting with an area and then I thought I'll just do all the dents and dings, and before I know it, most of it's covered. But I got all that sanded, and you want to leave a little bit so you don't sand it all away. But now when I run my hand across there, it's so smooth. But look at all the things that got filled in. Is that crazy? It's a lot of dents. Okay, the Bondo is now completely hardened here, and I'm just going to go ahead and sand that so I create an edge once again. And now you'll never know that that was there. Continue to scuff sand everything else. And now it's time to start taking the drawers out and numbering them. And I'll do this with all the drawers. And although I'm not cutting the base on this one, I know, which is rare for me because I do it all the time, I have not yet had this laying on its back, and I want to make sure that everything's all clean, the supports look good, and I get all the spider webs off, but I notice there are no little nylon feet at all. I don't know that there ever were, and I feel like those really should be there because otherwise the wood sits directly on the floor or the carpet, and it just really wears over time. So I like to add those, and it really is nice and sturdy and level. So here we are. Can you believe this is looking ready? I know it looks awful, but it's going to look better in a minute. I'm going to get my spray tent all set up in the front because I am actually batching today, which means I'm doing multiple pieces at once. I'm actually going to have 5 things in this tent, but I'm going to just kind of keep my camera angled on the one we're looking at. But this is the door, and I always have the outside of the door facing down, so that's the last thing that gets painted because I don't want to lay it down on the pretty side. And so although this isn't going to be necessarily marred, but just in case, I always do it that way. A good coat of primer over all of these repairs, and look, they're just disappearing. And just continue to get primer on everything. I want to cover up all the unevenness. I let that sit for a couple of hours, and then just coming back in with my sanding sponge and giving a nice good in between sand. And that really does help keep everything nice and smooth. I got all the dust off of there, and now with my paint color. I created this color and I just absolutely love it. It is a mixture of a couple of different blues, and I just wanted this kind of steel blue. I don't know why I had this in my mind that that's what I wanted, but thankfully I was able to recreate it with just a couple of farmhouse paints. So I mixed midnight navy and converted navy and created this color. It's such a cool color. Okay, now that that's all done, I did paint and top coat and everything, and now I'm going to line the drawers. You can see all the staining that's in the drawers, and I've already sanded that and it didn't come out at all. Acetone can take some, but you'll always have a pink hue. So I just decided to go ahead and line the drawers, and I'm going to measure everything first. I lay out my drawer liner, and I'm going to go ahead and just put my measurements on there and cut it to size. Now you could cut this in just sort of an average size and throw it in the drawer and then trim it in the drawer. And a lot of people do that. However, I prefer to cut it first and then lay it in the drawer the actual size, and it just fits. I prefer to do it this way, but there's many different ways to do it. Then I take a plastic putty knife and just make sure everything is adhered well with no bubbles. And once I'm really happy with it, it looks so pretty, I do the rest of them. So this just becomes rinse and repeat, cut them all, and then one drawer at a time. I've got 6 of them to do. Time for some hardware, and I put that on there. The screw's too long, so let me grab a washer and then put the screw in the washer, and let's try it again. Put the knob back on now, and it's solid. So keep some washers on hand just for that. It works so well. Now my hinges were black and all my hardware is gold, so I went ahead and spray painted them. I did the other side already, and then this is the opposite that I had my markings on, and I taped over the markings so I didn't ruin those. Okay, I got the hinges back on, and let's see if the door's gonna fit. Perfect. Okay, move that piece out, and you'll see that piece next week. Got a little sneak peek there. And I'm going to get this into my staging area and start getting it all set up. Let's take a look back at where we started, and here we are now. Sometimes free furniture can be so much more work, but this one ended up just really shining when I got all of those areas and the dents and dings all filled in and smoothed out. It really came to life. The drawer liners were great. I love this cubby for all kinds of storage, and this could be so useful for a console, a buffet, a dresser. I love that it's so versatile. So even though free furniture can sometimes be a lot of work, most of the time it's still worth it. I hope you love this piece as much as I do, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.